It's the little things that make the difference that makes Publix, Publix. It's the little things that make the difference that makes Publix, Publix.
Dinner was delicious, Gladys. You know something? After 40 years, you're still the best cook I know.
Why, thank you, dear.
And that roast was sure tender and tasty. Where did you get it? Is that the one you got at Publix today?
Yes. Joe picked it out for me. Said it was the best one he had.
Joe?
The meat manager.
Oh.
He's so nice. A lot of times he even gives me helpful cooking tips.
Yeah? Well, everyone did seem friendly. But then that's probably because you know everybody that works there.
Not everybody.
Hey, you remember that cute little cashier, the one who cashed my Social Security check for me?
I guess so.
Well, you know, when she asked me how I wanted it, I told her in money. Well, she thought I was funny.
I'm glad somebody thinks you're funny. Hand me the dishes over there, will you please, so I can wash those?
Sure. Well, you used to think I was real funny.
You know, my eyes aren't as good as they used to be. Does that look clean to you?
No, here, you better wash it again.
Sometimes I even have a hard time looking at the tags on the lower shelves at the store. But you know, every time I've asked one of those young people to help me, they've never said that they're too busy or acted upset with me for asking. I guess they understand we're getting older and need a little extra help.
Yeah, well, like today, when I was looking for the bird seed and I couldn't find it, I asked this stock boy what aisle it was on. And instead of pointing out which aisle it was on, he showed me where it was. Now, I appreciate that. Where does this bowl go, Gladys?
Oh, right down there, dear.
Okay.
Sometimes I think Publix goes out of its way to satisfy customers like you and me. Today, when I asked the boy in produce if he had any smaller packages of squash, you know what he did?
He went over and picked out some smaller squash.
No, silly. He took the package I had in my hand, picked out the best ones, and wrapped those up for me.
Well, he must have liked you. I don't imagine they do that for just anybody.
No, they do it for anyone who asks. I ran into Sally in the bakery and told her about it, and she said they do it for her all the time. Betsy said so, too.
Oh, did you remember to get my seedless rye bread, Gladys?
Yes, dear. And I had the bakery girl slice it thin just the way you like it. It's a good thing she asked me if I'd like something else. Otherwise, I'd have forgotten the rolls we had for dinner.
Well, I'm sure glad you didn't. Oh, but I like those girls that pass out the free samples. There was this sweet deli girl today giving out samples of sausage, and boy, was it good.
I didn't get a sample.
Well, that's all right. I ate yours too, and decided you wouldn't mind if we got some to try.
I didn't think I remembered picking up sausage. Oops. Oh, I'll get that later.
Oh, I'll get it, Gladys. You might slip and hurt yourself. Oh, my. Oh, dear. You know, I'm afraid we're going to have to replace this floor before very long. It's getting to look awfully yellow and worn. I wonder how long it's been down here.
Oh, thank you, dear. You're so sweet.
Hey, when are we going to have our cake and ice cream?
I thought we'd have it while we're watching TV later.
Sure does look good. Hey, did you make that from scratch?
No, it's a mix. I almost didn't buy it because I couldn't reach it. But then this nice young boy came by and got it for me. He seemed to be in a hurry, but he still took the time to help me. Now that's what I call nice. You know, he even looked a little bit like our grandson Timmy.
Oh, Gladys, you think every boy looks like Timmy.
Well, he did. You remember, he's the one who helped unload our cart when we went to check out.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess he did look a little like Tim.
He certainly was a nice young man. He practically had all our groceries unloaded before you could get around to help him. And he even asked if maybe he should pack the bags a little lighter for us.
Well, he did a good job of bagging our groceries. Oh, but that cashier sure was a honey. Oh, you know, when you mentioned the fact that you'd forgotten the mayonnaise, why, she sent that bag boy after it before you could make me go get it.
She was nice. Even when I asked her if she was sure she hadn't rung up my eggs twice. Or I couldn't find my coupons because they were in your pocket.
Well, you didn't notice them.
Luckily, the cashier noticed them. She was still friendly and patient, even after all that.
Yeah. Well, you know, it really didn't take us that long to check out today. That bag boy had our groceries all packed and was waiting to take them out for us.
And here you thought you were going to have to take them out.
Well, I offered to, didn't I? But then he said that was part of his job. You know, I did enjoy going grocery shopping with you today, Gladys. Maybe I'll start going with you more often.
That would be nice, Henry. I really like shopping at Publix. All the employees are so considerate.
Well, I wish there were more places that were as considerate and helpful as Publix is towards us old people.
Henry, you're not that old.
Yeah, that's what all the young girls keep telling me.
You old coot.
Well, you about ready to go watch television?
You go ahead. I'll be in a minute.
Okay.
It really is the little things that count at Publix.
Gladys, program starting.
I'm coming, dear.
Well, Gladys and Henry seem to have enjoyed their shopping trip at Publix. And as Gladys says, it's the little things that make a big difference. You know, the older customer is very important to our business. And fortunately for us, every year more and more people retire and come to Florida. You know, we've built our business on good customer service. It's the outstanding characteristic that makes us different from all the rest. And that's what this program is about, providing good customer service for the older customer. And that may mean doing a little extra, like helping them find an item, or bagging their order a little lighter, or maybe just being a little more patient. Dealing with the older customer is not all that different, but they do have some special needs. Let's take a look at some of them. Everyone likes to be noticed, especially the older person. And that's why good customer service begins with noticing the customer. Even though we're busy, we can always take time to look at them, to smile, and to acknowledge their presence. And learn as many names as you can. You know, when you call someone by name, it really makes them feel special. Keep in mind, too, that some of your older customers may be hard of hearing. Here are some things that we can do that'll help.
How are you?
Just fine. How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
May I cash that,
When you
please?
talk to them,
How would you like
face
to?
them directly.
In
They
money?
may read your lips or your facial expressions to help them understand what you're
Don't tell me
saying.
you've been cooped up in this place
Pronounce
all
your
day
words
long. Boy,
clearly.
it's so nice outside.
And use shorter sentences.
Oh, man.
Try to
That's what I
speak a
love
little
about Florida.
slower, allowing them to absorb what you say. And by noticing their facial expressions,
Yeah.
you can usually tell whether or not they understand what you're saying. Sometimes facial expressions can reveal more about what the person is feeling than what they actually say.
Thank you very much,
You have a
dear.
nice evening.
I sure will, and you too.
Thank
Okay?
you.
Good communication is important with any job, but it's essential in good customer service. That's why we should always keep these things in mind when we're dealing with the older customer. We all need help finding an item from time to time. This can be especially frustrating for the older customer. Here are some things that we can do to help. Be on the lookout for the customer who seems to be looking for something. They may look puzzled or confused.
May I help you, sir?
Instead of waiting for them to come to you, ask if you can help them find something.
I'll show you where it is.
They'll appreciate the fact that you noticed them and want to help.
My job, sir. Oh, well,
And rather than simply telling them where an item can be found, take the time to show them where it is.
oh, well, thank you
For the
very
older
much.
customer,
You're welcome.
This
I
can mean a
appreciate
lot,
that. Nice
just
day,
as
sir.
it
Thank
did
you, sir.
for Henry. Also, when helping them locate an item, if it's on the top or the bottom shelf, it may be hard for them to reach. So do a little extra.
Oh, yes.
Hand the item to them.
Chocolate for me.
Thanks for done.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a nice night.
Helping the older customer find an item goes a long way to providing them with good customer service. Little things like these are really appreciated. Ever have trouble reading something? Frustrating, isn't it? Many of our older customers don't see as well as they used to. We need to be aware of this and do what we can to help. For example, they may have trouble reading a shelf tag
Oh, young man.
or the price of an item.
How much is that? An
So
ounce?
taking the time to help them can make their shopping much more pleasant.
That's a pretty good deal to buy a big...
Also, they may not see boxes or trash on the floor. So if you're stocking a shelf, be sure to keep boxes or trash off the floor and on the float. Of course, water or something spilled on the floor is a special hazard. Remember, when you see something like this, if you don't have what you need to clean it up, send someone else for what you need while you stay and guard the area. Slips and falls are always serious, but for the older customer, a bad fall can be tragic. There may be other times when the older customer has a problem with their vision. A cashier may have to help them write a check or distinguish between different denominations of bills. So keep in mind, the older customer may have poor eyesight. They may have special needs where their vision is concerned. And it may take doing a little extra to take care of those needs. You know, for many older people, their trip to Publix may be a special occasion they look forward to. It's a chance to get out of the house and be with other people. And they may want to visit with you. And that's fine, but it may cause you a problem. Here are some things that you can do to keep from getting tied up in a long conversation and still be friendly. Acknowledge the person with a friendly greeting, calling them by name if possible. Try to stay in control of the conversation by using statements instead of questions. For example, saying something like, "You look nice today," instead of, "How are you today?" Keep the conversation light and try to ask questions that can be answered by a simple yes or no. And finally, end the conversation with a compliment or a pleasant comment. This lets them know that we're interested in them and what they have to say. Talking to people is an important part of customer service, and it's nice to visit when you have the time. But when you're busy, remember there may be other people who need your help. We can be businesslike and still be pleasant and friendly. Front service is an important part of our business. It's especially important to the older customer. Sometimes they need a little extra help with their order. Let's look at some things that we can do. First, greet the customer and let them know that we'll take special care with their order. Sometimes a friendly smile and a hello can express this. Help them unload their shopping cart. This can be a big help to them, especially if they have a large order. And if the customer forgets an item, offer to get it for them. Take care to pack their bags lighter so they'll be able to lift them with ease. Follow any special instructions they may have, such as bagging an item separately. They'll appreciate having things done their way. And of course, always be ready to take their order out to the car. This may be one of the main reasons why they shop at Publix. Sometimes the last few minutes the customer spends in the store makes a lasting impression. That's what makes the service they receive at the front end so very important. We want to make sure they're satisfied, so they'll come back to shop with us. Throughout this program, we've been talking about things that we can do to provide good service to the older customer. We mentioned a few little extra things that'll make their shopping trip a little easier. We might need to take a little extra time with them to make sure they're
That's just the way my
satisfied.
husband likes it.
This may mean simply asking
be
them
anything else?
if they need anything else.
Well, yes, I'm glad you mentioned it. I need some rolls for dinner, please.
How many would you like?
6 ought to be enough.
Sometimes doing a little extra can mean so much. Things like breaking a package for them, if possible,
Do you have
or giving them smaller servings of an item.
squash for just
Let me
2
taste the small ones from this package for you.
Thank you.
Hi.
And as we help them, just slowing down a bit often lets them know we care, and we're not trying to rush them. No one likes to feel
Oh,
rushed.
that is delightful. May I take another one for my wife?
Oh, certainly, please.
Well, thank you very
You're welcome.
much.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Finally, many of these older customers enjoy shopping at Publix just to see your friendly smile and receive your helpful service. To them, you may not be just a Publix employee, but rather a friend. As one cashier put it, I don't want to be known as just a cashier. I want to be thought of as their friend at Publix.
Oh,
I might know.
oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, you're the one that put them in there.
All of our customers are special, and we want to make their trip to Publix a pleasant experience. And we know it's the little things that make a big difference. And that's what counts in providing them with good customer service. It may take a little extra effort to satisfy the needs of the older customer, but they're worth it. And you know, we'll all be older customers someday.